Hi, I'm Kalilah Reynolds, and welcome to another episode of JN Talking Wealth, brought to you in partnership with the JN Group. If you're interested in achieving financial freedom and building generational wealth, this is the program for you, so stay with us. In life, anything can happen, anytime. However, you can make it easier on yourself and loved ones by planning and being intentional about having an insurance policy to cover your needs in case of eventualities. In fact, many financial educators and wealth advisors strongly recommend that along with saving and investing, life insurance and health insurance should be critical ingredients in your wealth portfolio. On this episode of JN Talking Wealth, Hugh Reid from JN Life Insurance will talk to us about how to build and protect wealth with life insurance. But before we do that, let's turn our attention to the spotlight.
Yes, I have a life insurance policy. And I have it because it is very important. I think it is important for you to have a life insurance policy, because it helps in a lot of ways. Yes, like you have a savings, you can take something in case that you fall into any difficulties or, in case that you pass. You know, life is not sure, and that can help with whatever the family has to do. Yes.
Yes, I do. And the reason why, after I pass, my family needs that money. I have a smaller son, so he would need that money to continue his life.
Yes, sir. It's important for you to have something for your old age or your child can benefit from it. In other words, like a pension.
Yes, I have life insurance. The reason being, when I'm older and I'm going to have kids, if anything happens to me, I want to leave something behind so they can, have a better life. And even when I pass away, I want to ensure that my family won't have any issues passing me on.
I think it's a necessity. Yeah, I think it's a necessity. It's necessary because, as I said, it can help to do a lot of things. Yes.
No luxury. It's necessary because after you pass, you want to make certain that things is your kids are taken care of. So it all depending on how much you're covered with. Then it's a luxury for them, not for me, because me dead.
It's necessity because of you can benefit, and it can help you in your older age going down, and your children, if you're past, children can get something where they can use to help financial funeral and benefit from the rest.
I think it's a necessity because nowadays it's kind of hard, and life insurance can help a lot. Meaning, you leave behind stuff, your family can either get money, a lot of stuff your family can get, but it's a necessity because you have to have something when you die.
Hi, Hugh. It's good to see you again.
My pleasure to be here again.
And we always get to talk about insurance. Very important. So tell me, why should insurance be an important part of everyone's wealth strategy?
Okay, wealth strategy has two phases. It has an accumulation phase and a distribution phase. In the accumulation phase, your greatest risk is that your goals can be derailed based on a major catastrophic event: death, the loss of assets, a major critical illness. And you will not have the resources typically to be able to mitigate those kinds of serious risk events. That is the major benefit of insurance. But when we get to the distribution phase, you have things like estate taxes. So you die, you leave a legacy for your beneficiaries. However, they can't pay the estate taxes and they can't liquidate the assets, and your estate is held up for a long time. So the final benefit of insurance is in what we call estate equalization. So you, for example, have 2 real estate assets, but you have 4 beneficiaries. Typically what would happen is that the 4 beneficiaries would fight over the 2 real estate assets, whereas insurance is an avenue in which you can specifically designate to beneficiaries funds rather than the assets themselves.
We see that happen all the time, the deadlift and
Yes.
the quarrels in the newspapers and so on. But don't you have to, well, you said it, you have to designate who the recipient is.
Right, right. So typically what happens is that persons focus too much on the assets, not realizing that sometimes it's difficult to liquidate assets, or the beneficiaries may disagree on how to treat with the assets.
And this way you think about it beforehand. Yes, all right. So a lot of us are familiar with health insurance. Many people have health insurance, and we can immediately see why that's necessary. But why would we need life insurance?
Okay, life insurance suffers from a number of myths. One of the biggest myths about life insurance is that it's about death and deadlift. But in fact, you buy life insurance not because you're going to die. You buy life insurance because those who you love are going to live. So it's a way of protecting those who will be left behind when you typically are the major breadwinner. And at JN Life, we like to think that we have some of the most innovative products in terms of critical illness, in terms of plain insurance to take care of your beneficiaries.
Well, one of the major reasons that people might not take out life insurance, they feel like, oh, it's just another bill, it's expensive. How can we manage that and figure out how to make those payments?
Okay, 2 of the major strategies in terms of ensuring that life insurance is affordable is 1, buying it early. You buy it early because the actuaries have determined rates for premiums which are lower the younger you are. So you get a benefit the earlier you buy it. But in addition, if you wait too long to buy life insurance, you may not even be able to get the insurance because of some pre-existing condition which makes you ineligible. So it's important to buy the insurance early, and it's also important to buy something called term insurance, because term insurance is the cheapest insurance that is available in any market. And at JN Life, we have a product called JN Life Vest, which is an innovative combination of term insurance tied with the ability to invest.
What is term insurance?
Okay, term insurance is almost the same as car insurance. It is a insurance that is fixed for a period of time, and you pay a fixed premium. Now, persons will say, so what happens after the term is finished? The important thing to know is that...
How long is the term typically?
Oh, the term can vary. It can be 10 years, 15, 20, 25, 30. At JN Life, we have a product that will cover you from 10 right up to 30 years. The importance, Kalilah, is that with term insurance, you can tailor the insurance to your particular needs. Typically what persons do is they buy insurance in layers. But of course, your need for insurance peaks in your asset accumulation years, when your children are young, when you're exposed to all of these risks. When you're in retirement, you don't need as much insurance. But having bought it already, if you bought the traditional whole life or universal life policies, that insurance is with you until you die. Whereas term, you can layer it so that it matches your needs.
Oh, so that's the major difference between term and life and whole life.
Yes.
Okay, so which one is better?
Well, it depends on your circumstances, but typically you mentioned the whole issue of affordability. So if affordability is an issue for you, then term insurance is your best bet because you can avoid what is called underinsurance. Lots of persons have insurance, but when they die, the insurance is totally inadequate to meet the needs of their beneficiaries. Term insurance will allow you to buy the amount of insurance you need. And in the case of JN Life, with our JN Life Vest, the savings you make because your insurance premium is lower can then be invested in our mutual funds.
Ah, I like that. Yes. All right. So you started mentioning it earlier. What happens when the term expires? So
Okay, when the term expires, there are a number of options. You can roll it over for an extension. So let's say you bought a 10-year term, and at the end of 10 years, you still need insurance, you can buy it for another 10 years. So you have that flexibility. Or if at the end of the 10 years, you decide that you don't need as much insurance because of changing circumstances, then you can convert it into a whole life policy because that is your projection as to what you would need. So it's very flexible.
all right, so with term life insurance, you can lock in your rates. But you also mentioned that the younger you buy, the cheaper you can get a policy for whole life insurance. Can you lock in that rate as well for whole
Oh,
life?
yes. For whole life policies, typically you get what is called a fixed premium. So it applies both to whole life and to term. However, what happens, there's a type of policy called universal life. I'm sure you have one where you mix coverage and investment. The premium is fixed, but the way the premium is allocated between insurance and investment is not fixed. In our case, we have JN Life Vest where for the term of the insurance, the amount you pay for your insurance is fixed, and therefore the amount that you have to pay for investment is also fixed. In the case of universal life policies, what you find is that as you get older, the amount that is allocated to insurance grows, and the amount that is allocated to investment reduces, and that is not ideal.
So we've been talking about affordability. What price ranges are we talking about here? When you say it's affordable to you might be different than affordable to me. So what does this plan start at?
Okay, so let me look at two of our more popular plans. Our JN Life Vest, which I mentioned earlier, which is a combination of term insurance and investment. Premiums, Kalilah, start as low as $800.
Jamaican dollars?
Jamaican dollars per month. You can't buy 2 patty and a drink for that. And this is protecting the ones who you love. In the case of our critical illness plan, now this is the only plan, Kalilah, that will allow persons who suffer critical illnesses to make more than one claim. Typically, you have a critical illness plan, you make a claim, that's it. You can't get any more insurance from that company or any other company in Jamaica. But in the case of our plan, you can make multiple claims based on the recurrence of the cancer.
As it should be.
As it should be. Correct.
I never understood that. But you have insurance, then you're afraid to use it because they're going to raise your premium or cancel your policy.
Yes. And that plan, again, the earlier you buy the plan, the cheaper it costs. But early 20s, you can get a plan like that for less than $1,000 a month.
Wow. That's amazing. 1,000 Jamaican dollars.
Jamaican dollars. We won't talk.
All right. So when we talk about, wealth creation and insurance, we typically think about it on the individual level. So I'm protecting myself. But is this something that businesses should also consider?
It is absolutely essential for businesses. What typically happens with small businesses in particular, so you have a worker, that worker has been with you for 30, 40 years. When that worker dies and that worker has no insurance, who are the beneficiaries going to turn to? They're going to turn to their long-standing employer. And you will then have to go into the company's funds to assist with the burial or with the health expenses of that employer. If you have group life insurance, if you have pension coverage, then what it does is that when your worker reaches pensionable age, there is something that worker can draw on rather than coming to you and said, I've worked with you for 30 years, so you have to help me now in my retirement.
But a lot of businesses consider this a luxury, right? When you have employees and you want to kind of help them out with the health insurance and then the life insurance, but that's something that many employers would shy away from because of the same question, affordability.
It is something that you have to look on with the assistance of a life insurance advisor, because it might look cheaper to do without these benefits. But if you have a key employee, for example, who dies or who suffers a major debilitating illness, then it becomes very expensive for the business. And it is important for businesses to, in the same way that an individual tries to mitigate these major catastrophic events, a business needs to do that as well. And
Is that called Keyman Insurance?
Keyman Insurance,
I've heard of that one.
that covers critical skills that you have in an employee that might not be easily replaced. But in addition, what it does as well is that persons who are looking between two alternative employers will go with the employer who provides the group life and the
Right.
health and the
better
pension.
benefits.
Exactly.
Right. It's not just about salary. Benefits are very important as well. So, any final thoughts on why you should get insurance with JN Life, of course, when you're planning your wealth creation strategy?
JN Life is the place to go for insurance. One, because of our innovative products, critical illness, JN Life Vest. But it is important that you make that decision now, not later, because you're going to pay less premiums the earlier you get the insurance, and it ensures that if the unfortunate happens and you have an illness, you can still qualify for insurance because you bought it 5, 10 years ago. Remember, life insurance, you buy life insurance because, not because you're going to die, but because those who you love are going to live.
Exactly. I love it. Thank you so much, Hugh.
My pleasure.
All the best. Well, if you're going to protect your wealth, you must have insurance. So ensure that it's part of your wealth strategy today. If you need further information about any of the products and services discussed in today's program, contact the experts at JN Bank. Also visit jnbank.com to learn more about how their products and services can help you achieve your goals. Now for our giveaway question. Name 2 ways in which insurance can help secure wealth. The first person with the correct answer will receive a gift certificate valued at $50. So good luck. That's all the time we have today. Join us again, same time, same place, for another episode of JN Talking Wealth. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video, and follow JN Bank on all their socials. I'm Kalilah Reynolds. Until next time.